Hard to believe we were just 3 weeks away from players reporting to camp and just a month away from the start of spring training. If you're a Blue Jays fan, you're probably still having nightmares. Game 7 of the World Series delivered an inning that will live in baseball infamy for Toronto, while at the same time cementing one of the most clutch, resilient performances we've ever seen from the Dodgers. Let's break down Game 7 in all its glory. The first real moment of note comes right away in the bottom of the first. George Springer opens the inning with a base hit to left. After a strikeout, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. steps in and battles to a full count. The pitch lands in the lower half to ring up Vladdy Jr., and Springer takes off, then inexplicably slows up halfway to second, and he's thrown out easily. A strange mistake, with Springer thinking it was ball 4, a play eerily similar to the one Bo Bichette was thrown out in Game 3. Toronto had another golden opportunity in the second. 2 runners reached with nobody out, and after Kirk and Varsho are retired, Ernie Clement comes through with a single. Under normal circumstances, that likely brings in a run, but Bo Bichette, still getting it out through injury, can't score. Another strikeout follows, and the inning ends with nothing to show for it. In the third, the Dodgers once again failed to apply any pressure against Max Scherzer, and Springer led off the bottom half with yet another hit, and would eventually advance all the way to third thanks to a bunt and a wild pitch. With first base open, the Dodgers elect to intentionally walk Guerrero Jr. That decision immediately backfires. Bichette steps in and unloads on a pitch, launching a 442-foot blast to center field. Just like that, Toronto jumps out to a 3-0 lead in Game 7. Los Angeles finally answers in the fourth, loading the bases and pushing across a run on a sacrifice fly from Teoscar Hernandez after an incredible diving catch by Dalton Varsho, keeping the inning from getting away as Los Angeles would fail to score any additional runs. In the bottom half of the inning, tensions would boil over when Jimenez is hit by a pitch, resulting in a brief confrontation that felt more like raw Game 7 emotion than anything intentional. From there, it becomes a battle of the bullpens. Tyler Glasnow enters and strands runners, keeping the Dodgers within striking distance. Scherzer exits in the fifth, and once again LA threatens, but can't fully capitalize, stranding 2 runners on a fly ball from Freddie Freeman. The Dodgers chip away in the sixth with yet another sacrifice fly, this time off the bat of Tommy Edman. Toronto responds with a Jimenez double that would bring in Ernie Clement and set themselves up with a runner on second with nobody out. Add-on runs here could have changed everything, but it was another missed opportunity for the Blue Jays. Instead, Glasnow completely shuts it down, retiring the heart of the order without allowing the runners to advance. Trey Savage takes over and works through the seventh, inducing an inning double play off the bat of Freddie Freeman and retiring Mookie Betts to open the eighth. But the Dodgers refuse to go away. A solo home run cuts the lead again, forcing Toronto to bring in Jeff Hoffman. He closes the inning successfully, and suddenly the Blue Jays are just 3 outs away from their first championship since 1993. In the bottom half of the eighth, it looks like Toronto might finally add some breathing room. Ernie Clement delivers his 30th hit of the postseason, breaking the all-time record. But just like earlier, the rally dies. 2 strikeouts end the inning, and the missed opportunity looms large. We head to the ninth. After a Kike Hernandez strikeout, things look bleak for Los Angeles. Then, out of nowhere, Miguel Rojas works a full count against Jeff Hoffman, and on a hanging slider deposits one to the left field seats, tying the game in the most improbable fashion. Dave Roberts' face says it all. An absolute stunning turn of events. If you would have told me Miguel Rojas, likely Dodgers' worst hitter and mostly just there for his defense, would be the hero of Game 7, I'd have called you crazy. Rojas said it himself. You always dream about this kind of stuff and being in this position. Hitting a homer wasn't on my bingo card, to be honest with you. Toronto wasn't going to give up though. In the bottom of the ninth, Bo Bichette would single, followed by a walk to Addison Barger, prompting Dave Roberts to turn to Yoshi Yamamoto to save the season. His outing starts rough, hitting Alejandro Kirk to load the bases, and now all Toronto needs is a ball in the air, a bloop, anything but a grounder. Instead, we witnessed the play that would define the game for the Toronto Blue Jays, a grounder from Varsho right at the man who just tied the game, stumbling and double clutching as he's able to throw Kiner Falefa out at the plate on a bang-bang play. It was a phenomenal play from Rojas, but arguably a worse decision by Toronto. The inexcusable secondary lead cost them this game. In reality, he should have been as far off the bag as Muncy was, and honestly, a step or two would have allowed him to be safe. Instead, it's an out, and following the game when IKF was asked about it, it really came down to the coaches wanting to avoid a double play on a hard hit ball, and that decision was likely tied to the game-ending double play from Game 6. With all that said, we somehow still weren't done with the theatrics. Ernie Clement steps in, and on the first pitch, he drives a ball to deep left center. With the outfield pulled in, Kike Hernandez scrambles to make the catch, and it seemed likely to drop, but Andy Pages would make a spectacular grab, colliding with Kike to save the game once again. Pages, who had been terrible at the plate all postseason, was put in as a defensive sub late in the game, a brilliant move by Dave Roberts, and a play I don't think that would have been made otherwise. Kike Hernandez, lying on the ground, thought the game was over, later admitting it himself. An absolutely insane bottom of the ninth. In the 10th, the Dodgers loaded the bases with 1 out, but came up empty after a forced play at home and a close call at first that survives the challenge. Toronto also fails to score in the bottom half, sending the game to the 11th. 2 quick outs brings Will Smith to the plate, and on a hanging slider from Bieber, he delivers a crushing go-ahead home run to put the Dodgers ahead. But even then, the Blue Jays weren't finished. Vladdy Jr. doubles to lead off the inning. He's bunted to third by IKF, and a walk to Barger would place runners on the corners with another chance to keep the season alive. Instead, Alejandro Kirk breaks his bat on a ground ball to Mookie Betts. Betts steps on second, fires to first, and that's the game. The Dodgers are World Series champions, back-to-back titles, the first team to do it since the late 90s Yankees. For Toronto, it's a loss that's almost impossible to process. They controlled most of Game 7, had chance after chance, but came up just short. For Los Angeles, it's a masterclass in resilience. They never quit, never panicked, and found a way when it mattered most. Thanks for watching. I'm Dingers and Doubles, and I'll see you in the next one.